Hi, it's Ed here, and this training area, this module, is on support social media, and it's on how to use the other big social media to build your network marketing business. You know, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google+, Twitter, MySpace. Remember, our strategy is to focus on Facebook. It's 1.1 billion people. It's so much larger than all the other social media. It's the only social media that we know there's a good chance that someone is going to be on. So, you know, the other modules of the 100% social media training program is focused on that. Get into it if you haven't started. The people that are using it are showing fantastic results because I'm teaching them a strategy that works with everyone in the business, okay? And I can't emphasize enough that you've got to master Facebook first. The strategy that I teach is unique. People understand it, and it really, really works. Yet there are these other big social medias, okay? LinkedIn and Twitter, you know, they are really, really big. And you need to work out whether you want to use it. And I say whether you want to use it because you only got so much time. And when we look at the whole social media landscape, there's so much stuff there and it's always changing. You can only focus on a few things. And we have that number one rule that we only do what duplicates. It's not about you being the world's greatest social media person. It's about everyone using social media in a way that everyone can use it. Okay, and that's what this whole training program is about. It's not about teaching you the greatest marketing on a form of social media, like a specialist form of marketing. That is not duplicatable. And so I show you the simple ways that actually work in our business. And, you know, we went through the 7 tasks that you can actually use social media for effectively. And that's great in Facebook, but when it comes to this other social media, what I want to really just focus on is the getting of leads or potential new customers. It's the number one challenge for a lot of people. And so if you have the time, that's what we want to use it for. You're going to do your 5-minute blast using Facebook, but you know, if you have time, what we want to do is to look at these other ones. Now, the key thing when you're looking at these other social medias is to decide which one is natural for you to use, okay? So it may be LinkedIn, but you know, you look at Twitter and say, oh, I want to use Twitter because someone's told you to use Twitter. But if you're not going to actively use Twitter, or you're not going to use Pinterest, or you're not going to use LinkedIn, if you just spend a few weeks getting it all started, it doesn't work, okay? It just doesn't work. The whole point is to regularly use your social media. And that's the way you develop relationships. That's the way you develop expertise. And, you know, that's our philosophy with Facebook as well. Do it simply, do it often, and use it because you relate to it. You know, that's why you have an interest. And because you have an interest in it, you can use it personally, and then you can expand it to use it in the business, okay? So the challenge really is time. And so what I want you to do is I'm now going to explain simply those 5 big social medias and do it in a way that relates it to the business, okay? And if you have the time and the desire, I want you to pick one. Okay, I don't care if you're attracted to 3 of them. I just want you to pick one of them and let's master that. You've got to master Facebook, and then if you have time and interest, I want you to master another one. Now, obviously, there are lessons following this on how to use each of these social medias in your business. Okay, so how to use Twitter or how to use Pinterest in your network marketing business. But right now, what I want to do is to just explain what are these 5 different social medias so you can make a decision on which one you want to use. Now, you may already be using them, okay? But I just want you to relate it then to how you're using it in the business. And if you want to use another one, then that's fine. But only do that after you've mastered Facebook and that form of social media. Okay, good. Let's get straight into it. So, Twitter. Twitter, massive, and it's what's called a micro-blogging site. So it's a blogging site. So it's a site where people produce news and comment, and then it's sent out in the form of like a mass text or a mass SMS. Okay? And if you're a follower of a person, you get the tweet, and you can then share that with your followers. So, you know, it's a sort of one-way communication. So it goes from the person who tweets to the people who follow them, and then it can be retweeted to the people who are following them. Okay? And it's as simple as that. It's the second most popular social media in the world, over 500 million users. People rave about it, but I would say as a social media, I don't think it's a great way of building a social network at all. I think it's a great microblogging site. I think it's a great way of socially connecting with people that you want to know about. And so I can imagine the number of people following a Bieber or a Lady Gaga is just going to keep growing and growing and growing. But the fact is that if you want to develop a large follower base, then you have to be pretty active on Twitter, and you got to have stuff to say. Okay? And so when it comes to that sort of relationship of sharing information, it's okay. And the boom in smartphones means that, you know, it's getting bigger and bigger. But if you're going to invest a lot of time in developing a large follower base, I don't really think it's worth it. But I think the major use in our industry for Twitter is the fact that, you know, you can connect with noteworthy people and organizations. And for that reason, and just the sheer scale of Twitter, I believe that everyone should have a Twitter account. And you should then follow your company and any leaders in your business that are not only have interesting stuff to say, but they're actually active in Twitter. There's a lot of people who aren't very active in Twitter who have stuff to say. Okay, and there may be some other people outside of your business that are noteworthy that can teach you stuff about the business or give you information that's valuable. Someone like me, then you follow those people. So I think everyone should use it. I think you need to think about who you follow. You know, it's connected so much now into our mobile, you know, communication. It's easier and easier to use. All right. So that's Twitter. If you want to use it more effectively, you know, have a look at the training on how to use Twitter, and I'll show you what to do. Okay. The second one is called LinkedIn. It's the social network for business-minded people. It is the third most popular social media, over 200 million users. It's booming. The people who use it love it. But the key thing, it's very focused on this niche of business-minded people. Okay, the groups in LinkedIn are around the sort of business-minded people, okay, rather than hobbies. And as I said, people who use it love it. It's great for networking. I've connected with lots of people I've known over years because they're actively using LinkedIn. Lots of companies use LinkedIn. And so what do I think? Number one, I think everyone in this industry needs to have a LinkedIn profile, and I can show you how to use that in the training. Okay, so you just need to go on the how to use LinkedIn, and I'll show you how to do that. That's level one. Now, level two are those people who are active in the groups searching using LinkedIn. And, you know, you got to be that business-minded sort of person. And I don't think a lot of people are like that. And if that's not you, don't worry about LinkedIn. Don't worry about it. Okay? It's no big deal. You know, you can always come back to it, but you've got to have a profile, so you need to do that training. All right? Fantastic. The third one is called Pinterest. It's a 3-year-old social media network which is about sharing picture interests, i.e. Pinterest. It's visual social network. You have digital pin boards where you pin images around areas that you're interested in. You follow people like Twitter, so you get their pins. and people can follow you, so they get your pins, and therefore it becomes social. This is the fourth most popular social media. There's over 50 million users, and it is rocking. In like less than 3 years, something like less than 3 years, this thing is worth over $2 billion. And anything that is highly visual, so anything related to health, beauty, fashion, home interiors, travel, cooking, these areas are massive on Pinterest, and it totally dominates that space. It is the most important social media for areas like fashion and beauty and travel and cooking, and it's just going to get stronger. And it's not surprising, given that it's like a woman's magazine, that women love it. 90% of the people on Pinterest are women. And obviously this relates massively to our industry, which has a majority of women. We're involved in the marketing of a lot of the products categories that I talked about. This social media is going to be important. But as I say, you either do or don't use it. You either use it because you're interested in the area, or you're not. Because it's like anything, you've got to keep using it, Okay? Pinterest. The fourth one is the famous MySpace, which used to be the world's largest social media and then got crushed by Facebook. It's now had to totally reposition around music, the people who sharing news music. So it's really around Gen Y users. So if you're in that niche of Gen Y users, if you're in that group, fantastic. Use it, get leads, get excited about music. If you're not, ignore it. Okay, simple as that. If you want to know more about it, have a look at my training, but it's a pretty simple area. And the last one is Google Plus, which is, in the opinion of a number of people that I know that use this social media, it has everything that it's better than all the other sites. It has all of the Google services, so obviously has much more functionality than anything else. It's the sixth most popular social media site. It's over 200 million users, but I think it'll die, because I don't hear anyone really talking about Google Plus. And social media is there's got to be a buzz about it. It's got to be a place that people are going on a regular basis, and I never hear that about Google Plus. It's Google, so you can't ignore it. It's Google, so obviously lots of people use it. Google was involved in social media before Facebook was even invented. This is like the fourth generation social media for Google, and I think it's going to flop. I don't think you should be actively involved in it, but I've got a training that'll explain it. I actually think that Google will one day wake up to the fact that it already owns the social media that really has the power, and that's YouTube. YouTube is, one of the most actively used sites on the internet. It is social media, and I think they could tweak it into the most powerful social media, because they own the video world, and it's all very well talking about images, but the future is video. So I actually imagine YouTube will eventually dominate Google, because Google is not social media. To me, Google is search. So to try and say Google Plus is social media, I don't think works. So, hey, that's what I think about Google Plus. So, what do I think you need to do? In this lesson, I wanted to teach you about the 5 different types, give you some information, tell you what I think you should do. I think that everyone needs a Twitter account to follow key people. I think that everyone needs a LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn is so important as far as the business-minded world is concerned. But, if you don't want to be active on it, don't do it. And I think you just need to decide which one of these you want to focus on. And to me, it's really between LinkedIn and Pinterest, if you ask me. Okay? Because, MySpace is all very well, but you've got to be in that demographic of, Gen Y music. Google Plus I don't think works. And I think Twitter is really great, but it's more in following. So that's that's my view. You can have a look at the trainings. I hope this is valuable. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.